Intimacy.
Pretty funny, no?
Yeah, right.
How that happened. Welcome to Converses.
So,
I don't know how nonchalant that happened.
again, yeah, of course.
Anyway,
Okay, so,
everybody's talking about it.
talked about Game of Thrones, 3rd episode, season 8. So now we will talk about spoiler alert!
Spoiler alert! If you haven't seen Avengers Endgame, do not watch this.
If you haven't
Do not
watched,
pass go!
if you
Do not
haven't
collect
watched
$200.
Avengers Endgame at least 3 times, don't watch this. Okay.
Hindi ka fan. You don't deserve. No, but anyway.
Yeah, we will talk
Again, it's one of those
like,
videos that you
completely
can.
no holds barred.
Yeah, and it's one of those videos that you can just sort of listen to as well, because like,
In your car
yeah.
or
there.
MRT, wherever. So
Yeah.
again, spoilers. Watch
5
only if you've watched it.
5 seconds.
Okay,
All right.
if you're still here,
And my God,
right?
I watched it 2 times on opening day.
Yeah.
First ever screening at 6:01 a.m. It was so beautiful. I cried when remember that scene where they were getting their asses handed to them by Thanos already, and then he heard Sam's voice, Cap,
Yeah.
on your
Oh my
left.
gosh.
Boom! Nung nakita ko na yung portal ni Doctor Strange, tears. Obviously, when Iron Man died, tears.
Believe it or not, I didn't cry when Iron Man died.
What?
I was crying
But he's
right
my
before.
favorite
No,
character.
right before. Again, when Peter Parker, the opposite side of it.
Yeah.
Yun, I started tearing up.
And didn't you love how?
But when it was, alam mo yung sinabi na ni Pepper Potts na parang, get out, bitch. I'm the
wife here. Move.
So,
Oh.
get out of here. It's my moment. When she did that, you might say the sadness part has finished.
Yeah.
For me. So I was done crying, kind of like.
But I got really
Yeah.
sad when Pepper was like,
You could rest.
it's okay, you can rest now. And she was composed. And then finally Tony died. When he died, that's when she was like, I feel like she just had to show na parang, we're gonna be okay.
You
It's
did your
fine,
job.
you can rest now. And how else do you send off Iron Man? You know what I mean? Like, a guy like that just doesn't retire, just doesn't resign. Like, even when he was coming up with the solution to the time travel thing, the Mobius strip and everything, he's like, I feel like I should put it in a box and throw it in the river. And then Pepper asked him the perfect question. Would you be able to rest? And that's what he did. He rested.
And you know what? You know why that resonated with me?
Yeah.
The
Cheeseburgers, by the way.
now we're okay because I don't know about other families, but if you've been through a death in the family, it's really what you say. When the death isn't like sudden, yung mga when they're sick and they're like dying, it's really what you say. So it's so real, like for me. Because I remember when my dad was like, kasi parang he died and then he was resurrected.
Resuscitated.
No, my dad was not a white. No. When he was
Resuscitated.
resurrected. So he kind of like lived for...
Arise.
Daddy? No.
Bakit? Daddy?
Parang Shaggy. And then parang when he was resurrected for like he was resuscitated for like 24 hours.
Yeah.
Alam mo yung the priest was saying parang baka he's just waiting for you to
tell him.
Alam mo yun kasi di ba he's the dad, so he's always in charge of everyone. So parang baka that's what's keeping him in the realm of the living, even if it's time for him to go. That's really what you say. You really say like, we're okay, we'll take care of everything, go and rest. Kaya when they did that, I was like, my gosh, this is such a real, non-cinematic, real life hugot. It's not like your
not just for
usual
the movie,
cinematic, I'm a girl standing in front of a dying boy, asking him to let go.
Or like
it's
those
not like
Bollywood
that.
movies where they have like an entire 2 hours to talk. Like there's this one video clip where this girl got shot in the head. Nauwi niya pa sa bahay. Nag-drive pa siya, nag-uusap pa sila, nag-flashback pa sila. Alam mo
Anime
yung parang,
style.
Tapos butas yung ulo niya.
Oh, like anime style, di ba? Like when like Sakura had like
Dalawang
1 minute to
episode,
go. 3 episodes yung 1 minute niya left to live. Di ba? Ang labo. So, yeah. So it really resonated with me. Although I didn't cry, it's just that I was really impressed.
With how they did it.
Given that you're sending off the most major character in the MCU. And then they chose that. They could have gotten some really cinematically wonderful statement that the world will be whatever, or like we will avenge you, or something.
Apparently.
They chose something so human to send him off with. And I loved it. Super loved it.
What are your favorite parts of the movie? I mean, I know there are a lot, but like parts that really stood out to you.
Really
I love Fat Thor. I can finally say that I have the body of a god.
That's cute.
You know what I mean? Like, look at me. I'm Thor, man. Oh, shit. That was good.
If I were to boil everything down, I would say, see, just this thinking about it gives me goosebumps. The look to your left. That is my single, I mean, so many highlights throughout the film. But that, because remember, the entire film was hinging on that.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole point is bringing them back.
Yeah.
And they didn't bring them back immediately.
It took a while, yeah.
When it was like, you know, they sent in the cavalry at just the perfect moment. Oh! Yeah, that and, Avengers Assemble.
Grabe yun. Imagine.
I
ever
can't.
since that, and I kind of thought about it na, how is he gonna do Avengers Assemble?
Yeah.
Actually, even from the beginning of the movie till the moment he said that, I had completely forgotten about it. Na parang, you know what I mean? And then when he said Avengers, I was like, oh shit!
Right.
Oh shit, that's right! He hasn't said Assemble yet. And then when he finally said it, because I was thinking, paano kaya deliver to like Avengers Assemble! Ganun ba? Para medyo uncharacteristic, diba?
Avengers Assemble!
Assemble! But you get it? And he did it so it wasn't cheesy.
And it's so funny. People were like, Avengers Assemble! Diba ganon? No, ako ganito. Avengers.
Alam na.
Hindi ko na narinig yung Assemble. Because I knew it was that.
Yung katabi ko talaga, kasi yung third time ko nanood.
Yeah.
So ako medyo, not naman desensitized, but more of like, okay, I know what's coming.
Yeah.
Avengers Assemble. The guy behind me, as in, marinig mo talaga yung gasp of, as in, ganon.
Yeah.
Tas, oh my God.
Ako lang ganun. And like, I really felt, the moment he said Assemble, I felt like, in my eyes, the screen turned comics.
Yeah, yung
like
parang
I wasn't watching a movie.
The take on me version.
Yeah, it's like I was watching and
that side scroll. My God, you know how like Avengers 1 had that spinning shot of the six of them, and then Age of Ultron at the very start when they were storming Baron what's his face's castle, fortress. They had that shot where all six of them were sort of flying, and the camera was here. Yeah, comic shot. And then for Civil War, they had that for the two opposing sides, Team Cap, Team Iron Man. For Endgame, sa sobrang dami nila, hindi na kasya eh. Alam mo yung kalahati na lang ni Giant Man yung nakikita mo, and then like that's why I can't wait for it to come out on Blu-ray so you can pause it and then figure out where everyone is.
Yeah.
Because it's so quick.
You know my last cry? Like tumulo talaga yung luha ko. The moment I realized what they were doing, the signature. Kasi I was like, okay, Jeremy Renner.
That's next.
They're gonna do it for the six, one by one. When they started doing that, I was like, oh my gosh, I lost it.
Was it just me though?
I completely lost it.
Or, you remember the signature, right?
Yeah.
Hot Toys ba yung gamit nila sa gitna? It kind of looked like Hot Toys.
Hot Toys?
Like the Hot Toys version of themselves.
No!
I swear, like the first time I watched it, I was
I don't think so.
Bakit na lang yung post?
No, kasi parang Hot Toys version nila eh.
No!
Oo, parang, no,
Why would they
naubusan
use
ba sila
Hot
ng time?
Toys? No. Dami-dami. But that really killed me.
Yeah.
Tapos nung finally, nung RDJ na, yung parang like,
And the sound. It's a full loop.
Yeah.
Diba? The very end of, in case you didn't stay till the very end, there are no end credit scene. But you hear the sound of Iron Man's hammer, which is the same sound that it was making in Iron Man 1. So it's come full circle.
when he was, the first armor.
Yeah.
Si Mark 1.
So medyo, and you know what? Like I was telling you this, like first couple of days after Endgame. I mean, obviously, I was sad about, Black Widow's death. But parang, they didn't even give her a funeral. Diba? There's no funeral for Black Widow. Like, I mean, I get that, obviously, Iron Man was a big hero and everything, but like, it wouldn't have been achieved without Black Widow.
Baka bumalik siya. Because when they return the Soul Stone, does it mean babalik yung...
But I really like
You know what? This is where it gets confused. Like, confusing because everybody who's like an expert on time travel. Alam mo yung parang,
okay, I'll go back to that, pero not for Black Widow. But what do you call this? I liked how because there were rumors, di ba? Na wala na. It's the end for RDJ and for Chris Evans. That was the given, and we were just like, how are they going to do it? And no matter how many times they tried to throw off our scent, we knew that it was it for them.
Yeah.
I just liked how they killed one and they took a different route for the
other. Not both dead.
Not like they both died.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, if it has been expected.
Full life talaga.
I love how it's so different. Like the way we said goodbye to the characters, we're in very different
And
terms.
even the Hulk, if you think about it, I think they're essentially saying goodbye to him already because half of his body is already burned. And like, I don't think he'll recover from that anymore.
Now here's the thing. Okay, since we were talking about when we talked about Game of Thrones, we were saying that there were some parts where you were like, but because of the general effect, you were fine. And I said I wouldn't touch Endgame because for me it's perfect the way they did it. But there are certain like moments.
Where did Cap get a shield?
Yeah. Okay. Because remember how
Because the shield's supposed to be broken. Remember?
Honestly, inayos lang or something.
no, there ano kasi is that kasi di ba he supposedly went okay because their main thing the main thing that is very in the middle of the film they're already getting into the whole they were going against all the other time travel movies.
Yeah.
Kasi in the time travel movies, di ba, the
Change
general,
the past.
why don't we just go to the baby Thanos, kill him, and then it's done. And they're like, no, you do not change
Your timeline.
our timeline. You
It
will just have
changes that,
another
yeah.
timeline, but us, we will still die.
The same.
Okay. So that's the thing. So that they have the excuse to like
Of doing whatever.
doing what they did. So doing what they did, they
Stealing
were
time
fine.
stones from
And then they didn't create branches because they went back and returned the stones. Okay, fine. Until the end, which is with
Cap getting old.
Because with Cap, if they brought him back as an old guy, then it still makes sense. But remember there, he went to the place where
and
they
stayed.
were.
Yeah. He went to a different timeline.
He didn't come back through the time machine.
Yeah.
He went there real time.
That's how he got old.
That's why he's there. So he stayed,
He would have eventually changed that
and
timeline,
then
yeah.
see. So how come it changed the current timeline? Because if that were the case, then di ba ano nila is that your
So being to see the whole time there were two
Your
Captain
future-
Americas
Yeah.
in that.
yes.
Nagtatago lang yun isa.
So it
he's
doesn't make
watching.
sense because what they did is like, what is this? Back to the Future? Because basically that's what they did with Cap. Only with Cap. Everything else is fine. But that part, it's like they completely ignored
Whatever
the
they
theory that they said in the
established,
start. Kasi if he came back, kunyari yung, okay, Cap, go. And then after 5 seconds, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, he came back as an old guy. Then it's like, what happened? Oh, I stayed with
I assume
Peggy.
he lived in a different timeline.
No. See, that's why, like,
That's why he never came back
that's
to the
what,
machine.
yeah, he wasn't in the machine. And then they just found him sitting there. So the entire time, he was probably already just like, they're about to
Or,
send me
di
there.
ba nga, there's a theory.
Now, pag ganun.
There's a theory nga. Remember how Peggy, when in one of the older movies, when Cap was talking to her, when she was on her deathbed, she mentioned that she had a husband and that she had kids and whatever, right?
Yeah.
But they never actually showed the husband.
Or the kids.
So they're saying that even back then, old Cap was already with her, just not revealing himself to.
Original Captain
And there's
America
another
changed the
theory
timeline.
that's also coming out because remember how Captain America's shield was supposedly broken against Thanos, but when he came back, he had a full shield. So did he just get like some random Captain America's timeline? Tas parang akin na tong shield mo, bahala ka sa buhay mo.
Sabog na yung timeline na yun.
And remember how he told the way that Bucky looked at him, it's like he knew something that Sam didn't. he had this whole like parang, no, you go ahead. I don't need to talk to you even if he's my best friend. You know what I mean?
Baka na-meet na ni Bucky.
And then, there's also, remember that line that Sam used? And he said, how does it feel? And then Captain America was like, oh, how? And then Sam was like, it feels like it's someone else's.
Someone else's.
And then Cap was like, it's not. So maybe, I don't know, and maybe in this timeline, and maybe that was Sam's shield. You know what I'm trying to say? Na parang baka there's an actual timeline where it's the Falcon. Falcon is the Captain America because Steve Rogers did not go into the ice. So he grew older with Peggy.
And then he retired it to...
Yeah.
So there's two Falcons now in that same timeline?
Maybe.
No, see, that's the only wrinkle.
That's where it gets...
That's the only wrinkle in time. Disney film. That's the only wrinkle in time.
Which they mentioned, by the way, in the Hot Tub Time Machine.
That's the only problem because they wanted to make sure that they can fix it. And because it's very interesting how the Ancient One always brought up the like, okay, that's fine for your timeline, but what happens to us? Because that was my question. I was like, so basically, they're being super selfish.
They just other people's time.
You're going to create so much trouble, creating branches of disaster as long as your timeline
Which is
safe.
what the Ancient One was all like.
Yeah, you're not messing up my time. But then, of course, given their original theory, they were supposed to like return everything, so there are no branching out.
Yeah.
But then, like we said, except that Captain America stunt that they pulled at the end.
But even when they return it, parang iba na rin yung timeline because in the timeline there'd be a part na wala yung stones sa kanila.
Yeah.
No, kasi
they would go back to before they took the stones.
To before. So the thing is, remember that's their thing. Your present will not affect your future. Your present becomes your past, and the one that you go back to becomes your present, and then you create your new future. So because they don't want to have to deal with the whole. If we change something here, everything will change after that. Because that's the biggest problem. But then with the Captain America thing, that's where it becomes tricky. It's like, then why was he here?
Yeah.
Why are there two?
Unless he figured out something that everyone else didn't. You know what I mean? Like maybe back when he traveled back, he was like, oh, pwede pala to. Or pwede pala to. Oh. Something to that effect. So, I don't know. But at the end of the day, it's time travel. Everything's theoretical. There's obviously no laws on it and whatever.
And that's why they were very careful because they were very smart. The directors and the writers and everyone, they're very smart. They know that it's trouble.
And then everybody will start questioning it.
The moment you get into time travel talaga, any movie, you will always find something wrong with the theory. Even with Harry Potter, that was the biggest problem with the whole, and diba, even JK, ano na lang is parang, oh no, as long as you can't affect the past, the major events. That's all she could come up with. It's like, really? That's, diba? So,
yung pandaya.
Oh, diba, with that
the
machine,
pensive, whatever.
No,
the one that
thing.
Hermione uses for class.
Parang why time turner?
Anong kwenta, no? Alam, bibigyan ka ng time travel machine tapos gagamitin mo for class.
Kasi that's what they were saying na parang ano.
Really? That's the only thing you would do?
Again, that's what people were saying. Now, why can't they just, correct everything? And they're like, oh no, you can't affect major. Diba? Parang,
it's their cop-out na.
Because it's really a problem. It's really a problem. So, anything time travel-y, you will find something wrong with the theory. So, they tried to do that, except for the Captain America.
I like it though. It's a good attempt.
It's a good, like for me, like I said, I am willing to like overlook all of those. Kasi, look, we're talking about this after we've enjoyed the movie. Then we can dissect. Pero while watching it, I was like,
you don't even think about it.
I am on this ride. I don't care what you do. It's working for me.
Pero grabe, no? Like,
I'm not complaining.
If you notice, like all of the newer MCU people barely had any lines. Like Black Panthers was just
no,
give it to me.
Because they know that they know
that's
that
it. That's the only line he had. Give it to me, and then Ipombe.
You know how like if you notice, if you're a big fan of like Survivor, the TV show. You know who's going to be voted out. It's the one that gets devoted. That the episode
gets an episode
is devoted to that person. Ang dami niyang lines, ang dami niyang screen time. Kasi you know na
Endgame niya.
Papalabas na to. So I guess that's what they were doing here. It's like ito mga to, marami pa kayong movies behind you. So,
Mahaba pa yung contract.
mahaba pa yung contract nyo.
But you know what? I got it from some. I can't name the source, but like he has a friend who worked on the VFX for Endgame, and apparently they took out like 30 to 40 minutes pa of footage in that battle. They had to trim it down.
But important or just like fight scene lang?
Just fight scenes. Like Groot had a fight scene there.
Baka dun yung sinasabi mong Thor na...
Maybe. And there's even a... I wonder if I'll get into trouble because of this. But anyway, anonymous naman.
You heard a rumor.
A rumor, yeah. That when Iron Man died, they all knelt in front of him. They all took a knee. It's very Lord of the Rings. You bow to no man. You bow to no one, my friends. But they decided to cut it out, which I guess
Yeah, I'm pretty
makes
sure
sense.
they filmed a couple of death
Yeah.
scenes to see what works. I'm pretty sure. I mean, you
You
know,
worked it for a long time.
there's this one part that made me chuckle a little bit. It's very like, you know, when Iron Man asked Doctor Strange, that one out of
Yeah.
I can't tell you because it won't happen.
oh, para
Yeah.
it's very like, what did you wish for your birthday? If I tell you, it won't come true.
For the end, still told it.
Kaya nga eh, medyo ganun din
No,
yun,
kasi
eh.
I think at
Parang
that
ano lang.
point, I think Tony Stark had it in his mind already, like the idea of what he was supposed to do, and Doctor Strange knew what he was thinking. So more of Doctor Strange was like, "Yep,
This is
whatever it is that you're thinking,
Yun
this
yun."
is that one chance." Yeah. Oh,
As opposed to like,
ito na yun. Ito na yun.
Imagine how many
Let's
times
go.
you have to go through that
Yeah.
just to chamba that moment.
It's kind of crazy.
Yun lang yung time na buhay si Doctor Strange.
Actually, no, paano kung Coops lang pala si Doctor Strange, ayaw niya lang mag-sacrifice ng sarili niya. Because remember how in Infinity War, remember,
Oh,
he was going up against Thanos,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
His portal thing has the ability to cut off whatever, but di niya na lang pinortal yung kamay.
Somewhere else.
Yeah.
Why does he have to...
Exactly.
Plug it? Kung ano.
Or that remember that scene where they had him like held down and Mantis was making him sleep,
Cut off the
and they
arm?
were trying to get his hand, the gauntlet off of his hand, cut off the damn arm. Or Tony Stark's laser thing that like cuts through pretty much everything. They didn't use it to. But then again, these are things that you just sort of like let go of because like it makes it more cinematic and
Ant-Man anus thing.
yeah.
I like the whole, you know, Doctor Strange as the last airbender.
Yung water, ano. Wong was
I like
super
that.
useful. Wong
Yeah.
was super useful. Diba? Like, when it started bombarding.
Yeah.
But good God, Scarlet Witch. I love how if she had her way,
Yeah.
she would have wrecked him.
If she was comic,
Hello, she
Scarlet
would have
Witch,
just wished them
like,
all away.
No more Thanos.
Boom. No more,
Right?
no more everything. Just me and Vision. Boom.
Yeah.
Actually, that's true. Super underutilized. the
Hello,
Scarlet
she
Witch,
erased
no?
all the mutants.
Yeah, House of M, diba?
So, okay, what's next? Because like I was talking to...
Okay, this is
Yeah.
where it gets weird because, I mean, with Endgame there's no end credits. Like it really does feel like it's signaling the end of this phase. But they're saying that Far From Home is the end of Phase 3. How?
Which is weird, because...
Far From Home Spider-Man?
Yeah. Which is coming out in July. So it's a little weird. How
No,
is
'cause
that
the
the end
thing
of
is-
Phase 3?
Mamatay si Spider-Man?
They said before that it was the first movie.
Yeah, and then
of
they
the
changed
next
it
phase.
to-
And then now they're saying it's the end. But then of course now it's no longer Spider-Man and Iron Man.
Yeah.
It's now Spider-Man and Nick Fury.
Yeah.
So they're still doing that two heroes at a time
Yeah.
tandem thing
Yeah.
that they're doing.
It's an epilogue for Phase 3. Okay.
But it's the final movie.
yeah, it's the final movie
of
for
the phase. So
Oh my God, can you imagine? Like, so parang blah, 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 blah. He goes up against Mysterio,
Mysterio,
whatever.
who they're saying might not be the villain.
Yun nga eh. Because it doesn't look like he's the villain. I mean, at least in the trailer.
Yeah, based
And
on
then-
the trailer, purely.
And then what if it's like, that's when they introduce the X-Men?
Yeah,
or
that's what I'm thinking.
whatever.
No, kasi that's
Or
the thing.
Fantastic Four or whatever.
What?
2020.
No, but see, that's the thing.
Have
you
they
know,
announced what comes after Far From Home? Nothing, no? At all?
Nothing at all.
Yung mga movies lang, yung mga phase.
Yeah, pero like
Pero no actual,
No.
ano pa, like...
Just like phase 3
Yeah.
logos lang.
And that's the thing. And even with like New Mutants now is like nobody knows
Yeah.
what will happen to it. So you
And
know,
how is Black Widow, the movie, going to happen?
We don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
If it's a prequel, does it make sense? Like, let's just say, okay,
Wala
what
na.
if it's the biggest friggin' opening ever or whatever? What do they do? Like, okay, let's make another story about her
maybe at the
before
end,
she
that's when they
died.
bring her back when Captain America brings back the stone.
because remember, we've never like, although it's going to be difficult, because like, diba, the only two people who were lost because of the Soul Stone is Gamora.
Gamora
her.
and,
they solved the Gamora thing because
yeah.
now they have old Gamora
Yeah.
as the new Gamora.
I'm in love.
But with her, I don't know how that will work. But
I would
You know,
go back
since-
to Avengers 1, take that version of Black Widow and just sort of like
see, that's
Medyo in love pa kay Hulk version.
keep her with me, you know?
that's the problem eh. Kasi even in the comic books with the X-Men,
Yeah.
we have two sets. Kasi Beast naman, because diba Cyclops becomes like a terrorist. So what he does is he goes back in time, gets the old X-Men, the pre-Storm X-Men,
Yeah.
the rig, the OG, and then brings him to the present.
Okay.
So now you have two sets. You have old Iceman and you have young Iceman.
There's a timeline now, walang X-Men.
Yeah, it's crazy. So medyo it's a mess. So now you have two sets of everybody. Both Icemen are gay, by the way.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and then so it's going to be very exciting because right now everyone's grieving like no more Cap, no more
No more
Iron
Iron
Man.
Man.
How
But
can
they're
we,
also setting up.
how can we like live without those two or at
Yeah.
least at least the Marvel Trinity?
But
If the X-Men are back, I think
Yeah.
for the younger audience, this is an exciting time for them too. I just have a lot of faith in Kevin Feige. So
Yeah.
if we get his version, his vision for X-Men and Fantastic Four, incorporated into the new, I am so on board.
And I mean, you can already see it sort of happening. I mean, they introduced the Young Avengers already, right? Like Clint's daughter.
Yeah.
Morgan Stark also, diba?
Yeah.
Like, I think she also has an Iron Man suit of some sort, and
Yeah.
then even the kid from Iron Man 3,
potato gun
who
guy.
was in the funeral, and there was even a scene.
Cassie is the new,
Cassie is also like
the new Ant-Man.
Yeah.
She's the new like big and small.
Yeah, and who knows? I mean,
Arya Stark daw.
at one point, Arya Stark was diba? New Mutant. Yeah. Now she's doing New Mutant.
Hello, Phoenix,
Oh,
Sansa
that's true.
Stark.
Sansa.
Yeah.
Si Jon Snow na lang wala sa Marvel Cinematic Universe, no? He should be.
He can be like a
Young Cable.
Wolverine.
A mopey Wolverine.
Mopey
Like,
Wolverine. You know nothing, Logan.
So cool, yeah.
So I think it's pretty exciting, and I love how one of the themes coursing through Endgame is about moving on.
Yeah.
And
Kasi I think
love
they're
how-
setting people up na parang, dude,
Yeah.
okay, as much as we'd like to keep RDJ,
Yeah.
Chris Evans,
And you know how, like,
Hemsworth here forever,
They
we can't,
didn't make the future without the dead half so horrible.
Yeah.
It's like, Iron Man found a family.
Yeah.
He has a kid, he has a wife. He's actually okay.
Chris Evans has a
The others are
support
not
group.
okay. Diba sila Natasha,
Witch,
they're a mess.
Oh.
But for the others, they're like,
Nakaka-move on.
Yeah.
there is a moving on.
Yeah.
So I like how they're addressing moving on as a theme, given that this is what the MCU will be asking of its viewers.
I just remember though in the very first Avengers, the argument between Cap and Iron Man was, you're not the guy to lay his life on the line. You're not the one to make the sacrifice play. And then he did.
Yeah.
He was the sacrifice guy. Oh, I am Iron Man.
But
The only
I will.
Avengers movie na talagang closure.
Yeah.
Yes.
Feel mo after.
And I feel so complete.
Yeah.
Like we were arguing, we were like joking pa nga na parang even if the MCU never makes another movie,
I'm good na.
you're good.
Yeah.
I mean, of course we don't want that. We want
Yeah,
more,
of
but
course.
you know what I mean. I mean,
And you know they will.
You're
It's
okay.
too much money.
Factor.
It's
Like,
$1.2 billion in its opening week.
and it's not one of those like I want it to end, in another way.
Yeah, no.
You're actually
You're
good.
happy. I mean, it's a bittersweet ending
It is.
because obviously you're saying goodbye to these characters that you have loved for the past 10, 11 years. But at the same time, it's a good way to say goodbye.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think it's pitch perfect. I wouldn't change anything about it.
I actually just want to watch it again.
And I loved
Maybe I will.
Yeah. I loved every minute of it. And And I love that the perfect title for it talaga is Endgame.
And I love
Because
the
that's what it is.
cameos.
Yeah.
Nobody really talked about the cameos too much. Like, I mean, Senor Chang was there. Senor Chang, of course. The other girl from Community was there also. She was the one in the elevator. Ken Jeong was the one in the garage in San Francisco.
That was so weird.
And then the girl in the elevator who found Cap and Tony Stark suspicious, she's also from Community.
And that elevator scene was
From Winter
Soldier.
That was so good.
It
Like
was,
you thought that it was gonna happen all over again. Where
it
you had
was
to
like
beat everyone
a
up.
play-by-play repeat of that scene.
And it's also
and it's a wink wink.
comic books.
Yeah, the Hail
Hydra.
Hydra. That is like the biggest
Secret Warfare or something?
No, that was the biggest
issue.
parang scandal in
Yeah,
comics.
na parang how is Captain America part of Hydra?
You know, like comics fans were like up at arms when they did that, and of course, they changed it again. Pero it was all part of the, diba? So the Cosmic Cube. But you know, a lot of the wink winks.
Remember the guy that Ronin was going up against, the Yakuza guy? He's the guy from The Last Samurai and the Ring, like that Japanese dude. Like he's dami nilang movies din eh. So kakatuwa yung mga cameo.
So I really love that. That yeah.
It's a bagay, no? I mean, for Ken Jeong, parang okay, I don't have a speaking line, but I'm part of the MCU. Damn, list of like characters. Boom, Ken Jeong, legit. Saya.
So that was really nice. It was so complete, and I like how they mixed, the funny parts pa rin.
Yeah.
They didn't go all serious. Even during the most serious part, they would still inject humor, but it was rightly placed.
Yeah.
It doesn't jar you from the effect. I really liked it. So we're feeling wistful.
Yeah, it's just now it's sort of like all coming back.
Yeah, okay.
to me.
You know the feeling I'm getting with Endgame. You know how like when your beloved pet dies,
Yeah.
like your favorite dog that's been with you for so long, and then you get a really cute puppy. You're like, it doesn't replace what was lost.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you're excited
Yeah.
because you got a cute little puppy. But there's this part of you where like, but there's a spot in your heart where
Where you'll always still be in love with that
and nobody
dog.
will take that space.
Yeah.
Because I am excited about what's coming next.
Yeah.
I'm excited about the
It's a
X-Men.
good party.
I have always been like a bigger X-Men fan than
Than you
Avengers
were
fan,
an Avengers fan,
ever.
yeah.
So I'm very excited. But at the same time, you know that this will never happen again in our lifetime. And we were very lucky to be here because, this world building, the universe.
Yeah, the Infinity Saga.
It's the first time that anyone has ever done that.
Yeah.
Even if somebody does it better, arguably in the future, it won't be new anymore.
Yeah.
It's something that's already been set by a template,
Yeah.
and somebody will just improve on it. But to be there when it's like being there when they invented or discovered fire,
Yeah.
or Star Wars. Yeah. No, exactly.
Medyo grabe yung fire.
No, I mean, like Star Wars kasi,
Damn.
I love Star Wars,
At the time,
pero
it was
it's a
Yeah.
series eh. Ito like different movies and
Coming
then
together.
in a bigger
It's
universe.
a cinematic universe. It's the
It's a
first time we've
cinematic
actually
universe.
heard of that term, cinematic
We've never
universe.
experienced it.
Imagine
It was
a cinematic
beautiful.
Alternate universe?
Yeah.
Right? So alam mo
Actually,
yun,
no? Like if they did like a whole Earth 616, whatever, yeah.
we'll never see it again, and or at least we'll never experience it.
I
in the
really
same
feel
way.
like our children and our children's children will view this as their Star Wars.
Yeah.
Because you know how like, well,
We'll have a lot to
least-
catch up on, my God.
yeah, at least for me, like when I was born, Star Wars was already done. And so I kind of had to like, oh, look at this old movie that's so good. And I feel like our children will eventually get to that point where they're like, oh, this is a pretty old movie, but it's so good. You know what I mean?
I watched it in the movie house.
That's why. That's why I said, I was like, for me at least.
As in literal.
I got kind of scared now when it ended because, like, what's gonna be the future of movies
After,
that?
yeah.
Like, what's gonna be the MCU of the kids? If MCU is gonna be like the normal movies.
Because I'm sure they'll do a good job.
I'm sure
just
they will,
saying,
yeah.
This is an island that we will just have to revisit again every
Yeah.
now and then.
Oh,
But
for sure.
It's on its own.
I really hope they come up with like an extended release, like extended cut though, like.
Hopefully, like a
Sana
lot.
they do.
I wouldn't be surprised.
No, take this out.
No, and like for all you know, you have like an extended battle scene in the
Yeah.
Blu-ray.
Things that didn't happen.
Yeah.
Yung mga conversations.
Pinakita yung mga bumalik siya dun sa...
or alternate. But I hope they don't have like those alternate ending things.
Yeah, napapagulo na yun eh.
I mean, like, cause wala lang. It just messes
it's good
with
enough
you.
as it is.
Leave
You don't
that.
wanna...
I love it. How it ended for me was perfection. I don't want anything
You
changed.
must spoil that moment, I guess.
I don't want to spoil that moment.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. It's something you'll remember for the rest of your life. And, you know, you look back on with fondness. And it's like, remember when Endgame was... Why is there a teddy bear up there?
Oh, it's a cat.
No.
Okay. So it's like... Right? So alam mo yun, like,
Yeah.
it's going to be special. But again,
Oh,
I
no,
cannot...
Goose didn't make an appearance.
Oh,
The cat
yeah.
from Captain Marvel.
Yeah, pero alam mo yun, too many things na parang
sabagay,
no need. So, very excited.
Even Drax didn't say anything
and
anymore.
the one that everyone was expecting na mag-make ng difference in the war,
Yeah.
Adam Warlock.
Oh yeah, they completely forgot about Adam
but
Warlock.
they
no?
introduced him.
Yeah, at the end of Guardians 2,
Kasi
diba?
people say Marvel is never random.
Yeah.
Why would they introduce, you know,
Adam Warlock,
if they're not going to use him? But maybe in a future episode.
Yeah. All right.
All right, so thank you for joining us. Tell
If
us
you have
what you think.
if you have any comments about the Endgame or whatever, just leave it on the comment section. Don't forget to like the post,
Yeah.
share it with your friends, and with that,
And tell us what you think of Converses.
yeah.
Yeah. So with that,
Tapos pag gano'n, ito yung mga nakawala.